The killer whale, or orca, is a truly magnificent creature. It can reach 30 feet in length, and with its black and white marks and sharp teeth, it is a beautiful, highly intelligent social animal. My name is Nisa Ayers, and I'm here to tell you about the orcas kept in captivity and the danger it poses for the animals and individuals who interact with them. I'm going to explain 3 different tragic events and the final outcomes. All of these events and incidents were included in the documentary Blackfish, directed by Gabriella, and our documentary was inspired by Tim Zimmerman's article, The Killer in the Pool. In 1983, Tilikum was captured off the coast of Iceland at the age of 2. Measuring 13 feet long, he was torn away from his family and ocean home. After his capture, he was held in a cement holding tank for almost a year until he was transferred to a small marine park known as Sealand. Sealand was a rundown facility in British Columbia, Canada. A 100-foot by 50-foot pool and 35 feet deep had become his new home. There he would be trained to perform tricks and obedience for the public. When Tilikum was brought in and forced to perform with 2 dominant orcas, there was a lot of negative effects. When Tilikum did not perform a technique properly, the trainers would withhold food from him and the female orcas as punishment. Tilikum endured attacks from the other 2 orcas, as they were very frustrated with him. Tilikum would have bite marks, and the females would rake the entire length of his body with their teeth. When the park would close, all 3 orcas were crammed into a small, round, metal-sided tank. In complete darkness, these 3 large and very incompatible orcas were forced together for 14 hours until the park reopened in the morning. One morning, on February 21st, 1991, a Sealand trainer, Kelty Brine, who had worked with Tilikum and the other whales, had her worst day and final day. Walking alongside the pool, her boot slipped and she fell into the orca's pool. She was immediately pulled under by Tilikum, and the other 2 whales engaged and tossed Kelty around, eventually resulting in a drowning. Kelty was the first victim of Tilikum. The stress and frustration of confinement, he had reacted, causing a loss of life for a fellow trainer. Her death was ruled off as a drowning. Sealand was closed because of the incident, and this was just the beginning of Tilikum's stories that have yet to come. SeaWorld purchased Tilikum in 1992. Ignoring the reports of his previous aggression and killing, Tilikum was brought to SeaWorld. As time progressed and the longer Tilikum was held captive, the more signs of distress and aggression arose. Tilikum would chew on metal gates and the concrete sides of his tank. These behaviors damaged his teeth tremendously. Eventually, this aggression would be directed in other ways. This leads us to one of the most odd deaths of Tilikum's. Not sure how the victim actually got into Tilikum's tank, considering the security cameras and night watch guards. Daniel Duke from South Carolina managed to do so. July 6, 1999, 27-year-old Daniel was found dead and naked, draped across Tilikum's back. The reason was never clear to why someone inexperienced would attempt to swim with this animal. The autopsy had reported no pulse and respirations and the presence of rigor mortis. The body bore multiple abrasions and several lacerations. It was noted that Daniel's pubic area had been torn from his body. Daniel Duke's death was far from normal, but it was ruled off as a drowning, an accidental drowning. Even though he was Tilikum's second victim, it was written off as if Tilikum was not the suspect. Daniel was responsible for his own actions. He was painted as an unstable person by SeaWorld staff and some local Orlando media. The final death that caused a huge stir and major discussion of effects of captivity was the death of Don Bradshaw. Don was a veteran trainer that was very experienced. Eyewitnesses told investigators they saw Tillicum grab the trainer by the arm and drag her underwater. Similar to the previous victim with the brutality, Tillicum's acts of aggression and frustration were very clear. Just as Duke's death was acknowledged as his own fault, so was Branshaw's. OSHA repeatedly tried to sue SeaWorld for allowing these situations to happen. If these killer whales were not held against their will as a form of entertainment, these people could still be alive.